Have you ever out shooting, or have you ever gone out shooting with the intention of going to a specific location and it doesn't work out, and then you start to not frantically panic, but you start to question, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go? Especially on mornings when the conditions seem like they're going to be quite good. That's what happened to me this morning, and it was a calamity of errors that almost resulted in me packing up and going home. And the more I get out and shoot, the more I say to myself, you have to just be happy with a set location and give it time, because if the sun is rising at, let's say, 6:30, the landscape looks very, very different at 10 to 6. I mean, the landscape changes so much, especially at dawn, in the space of 30 minutes. So if you're at a location and you have done your research and you have your heart set in this location, and you arrive, let's say, 45 minutes before the sunrise, have patience and give it time. That's what I didn't do this morning, and it nearly resulted in me missing out on some beautiful conditions. I had intended on shooting the location where there's just one lone tree, and a lot of you know that image already, because it was meant to be quite a nice sunrise this morning with a bit of fog, not too dense, a small bit. Now, I arrived at the location and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. The horizon had a thick band of haze on it, which is often due to high cloud. So if there's no other cloud except for high cloud, then in Ireland for some reason we get this band of haze on the horizon. And I was feeling really dejected, and I said, I can wait here now, or I can try and just go somewhere and find something completely different that I've never ever shot before, because I have shot in that previous location before. And that's what I've done. I've come to this parklands that you would have seen me shooting before, and I had to really resist the urge to not shoot the same scenes with the paths and the light and the fog, because it's very similar conditions. I actually think I'm wearing the same clothes. So this is a different video, trust me. It's very similar conditions to the last time I shot here, and I had to really resist the urge to not shoot the same scenes again. And the way I done that was I just put on my 70-300, I put away my 24-70, and I said, okay, I'm limiting myself to a telephoto lens, which in woodland isn't really limiting yourself, because that's probably what I shoot most of the time. I actually don't think I've shot anything wider than 24mm yet in these videos, but I do have a wide angle, I just don't use it. Anyway, I said come here and I'd try and find something completely different, which is what I'd done. And I was walking up the pathway, so there was some fantastic light coming in through the trees from the sun, and due to the elevation of the sun, so it had just risen, so when the sun rises, obviously it's the light parallel with that, or the areas parallel with that are going to get hit, so the tops of the trees basically. And as the sun gets higher, then obviously the light will get lower and it'll start to hit the ground. But I was walking up the pathway, and the shapes that were in the trees in front of me were just fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and the light was just beginning to hit them, and I said, I have to shoot this. So I hadn't much time because the fog was rolling in, and as I'm speaking now the trees are completely covered in fog, which could give me a different shot. But I put on my 70-300 and I shot at f8 an eighth of a second, ISO 100, and I think it's a very, very nice shot. It does some fantastic shapes in the trees. The light was hitting them. The sky wasn't blown out because the trees were being backlit, and the sky was being backlit, so the sun was here and the trees were here, so there was no worries about getting a blown out sky. And it's just one of those artistic images that I love. Real intimate shot that it could have been taken anywhere in Ireland, and that's a very good image to start the day and possibly finish the day, because I don't even know if I'm going to get anything else. But I'm very happy with that, especially considering this could have been a disaster of a morning. But the fog has rolled in quite thick, which isn't what I wanted. Often in mornings where there's zero cloud and there's a bit of fog, they're the best ones, because the sun has time to get up over the fog and penetrate through it. Whereas some mornings you've got thick low cloud mist fog, and it can just look a bit bland. So I'm hoping that the sun peeps back out, and this fog dissipates a tiny bit, just to give me that bit of light, or else I find the composition to suit this dense fog, which possibly these pines behind me might do. But that image, beautiful, about 200mm, lovely compression, light shapes, the textures in the bark. Fantastic woodland image. I think so, I'm happy with it. I'll leave you to be the judge. I'm gonna go try and find another composition. So the fog is still quite thick, and now I'm kind of looking for compositions that kind of complement that thick fog. Some compositions might complement like nice side light and beaming through the fog. Other compositions lend themselves well to more those moody style images, which is what I think this scene behind me does. So there's a birch tree which still has its orange leaves from autumn. Apparently they're marcescine leaves, they're called. Thanks Simon Baxter for giving me that very knowledgeable piece of information, no better man. And the reason that they hold their colour, according to Simon, is that it's the tree's way of holding on to a last couple of nutrients if it's needed during the winter or the spring, particularly in young trees. So I mean, that's why trees, that's why their colours change, that's why the leaves of trees change colour. It's due to the decrease in photosynthesis. So the chlorophyll is not present in the leaf, and the chlorophyll is the green pigment that gives the leaves that green colour. And chlorophyll is also used in photosynthesis. So when that starts to dissipate, the leaves start to lose their colour and they fall off the tree, because obviously they're not making food. So anyway, enough of that science nerdy fact. I like this scene because the orange leaves are contrasting against a very moody background, and there's an oak tree just to the left that's covered in ivy. That's just kind of helping to add an element in the back of the scene. And I got very lucky because a bird just happened to land on the branch as I was taking the image, and I had set up the shot and he flew away. I waited, bird came back, I got the shot, and I actually think it just adds that little touch of magic to the image, because the base of this shot is a bit cluttered. It's all bush and bramble. I mean, it's not the strongest image I've ever taken, but I think when the bird landed on it there, it just added that extra bit of oomph, you know? Oomph. You know what I'm saying. The wind is starting to pick up now, so the fog is going to start blowing through, and possibly this dissipates soon enough, especially this time of year when the sun is a lot higher in the sky, you know. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I think I hope you're not sick of me shooting in the woodland and shooting in fog. It seems that every video I've made almost has been in fog, but look, these are the conditions I like to shoot in, and luckily enough I've gone quite decent at predicting fog and where it will lie and where it may not lie. And it really, like, I mean, drive 2 minutes up the road and there's no fog. It's very strange. It's obviously to do with the valleys and the way the air moves and the way moisture sits. Sometimes it's predictable, sometimes it absolutely isn't. But there's actually some nice side light coming in now, so I'm going to grab this shot and I'll see, maybe I'll get one more image. If not, I think this has been a successful morning. the unpredictability of fog. I mean, I was literally getting ready to pack up and go home. I had a look around, didn't see much to kind of appeal to me, but these pines are just so pleasing to the eye. But there wasn't any fog around them. The fog was below them or the fog was above them, but now it's just started to seep in through. And I can't overstate enough the benefit of a telephoto lens in woodland photography, for a couple of reasons. On mornings like this morning, it helps compress all that fog and bring it into your composition. I mean, where I'm standing right now, if I took a photograph with a wide angle lens, or we'll say 24mm, it wouldn't look like there's any fog around me. It's kind of like when you're in the fog, it always seems to be 10 meters, 15 meters, 20 meters away from you, and that's something you'll notice. And it always seems to be in the distance, and that's why you use your telephoto, to bring in that fog, push it in to your composition using compression. I mean, I'm shooting at about 200mm here. Beautiful cylindrical pines. I never thought to say that about pine trees, but these are very pleasing pines. Lovely textures on the bark. The fog's in the background. The light is being diffused by the fog, so it's not harsh. It's not harsh sunlight coming in. It's been diffused by the fog, so it's nice soft. It already has a nice glow to it. I mean, the raw file looks perfect. It doesn't even look like it needs to be processed. I'm focusing on the front tree. So I have 3 trees going on to the left of the frame, and I have one just to the right, which is helping to balance the shot. And I'm focusing on the front tree, and I'm at f16, and the very back of the image isn't sharp. It's not too sharp, but that doesn't matter. If anything, it adds to that soft magic kind of glow. So like the image starts sharp at the front and it just begins to soften away, which is almost what we do with the art and effect anyway in post-processing. Beautiful ethereal image. I'm shooting vertical. I don't think I've shot horizontal yet today. And as the light is just, I'm just firing off images as the light is coming in. It's constantly changing. I'm at 180mm. And this is going to be my final image of the morning. I think I'm gonna put the gear away and go for just a stroll around the park. Maybe take the Z50 with me. I hate crows. Maybe take the Z50 with me and just stroll around the park. It's a beautiful morning. I've gotten really lucky with some of the conditions lately. Absolutely magic. I mean, for a morning that started out really poorly, it's finished with a thoroughly enjoyable landscape photography experience, as it always does. I mean, it's always nice to get out with the camera anyway. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thoroughly enjoyed making it. I thoroughly enjoyed shooting these images, and I hope you enjoyed them as well. So I'm going to leave you with the final shot. Thanks very much for watching. All the best and stay safe.